something that Travis likes, all right?
Football!
He's a football fan. He's a football fan. And we had an interesting, not so much exciting games, but just an interesting, a lot to talk about with football.
So what you want to start off?
Well, let's start off with the biggest one, probably. Actually, it's not the biggest one, I would say. Actually,
yeah, I think
it is. The Chiefs versus the Titans, and my God, Tennessee obliterated the Kansas City Chiefs.
Now let's just say this: A.J. Brown came alive in this game. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been doing a damn thing this whole season, and he finally showed up.
Finally. Well, here's the thing. If there was any game he was going to show up, it was against one of the worst-ranked defenses in the league.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's not really too much props to him. The Chiefs are literally the worst defense. I saw this stat today. They're 32nd in almost every single category. Points per game, everything. So, it's not
in
really...
total yardage right now, it looks like they are ranked. They are ranked below the New York Jets right now.
Yeah.
In total yardage.
They're like almost everything
on par with the Jaguars.
Yeah. So they're terrible on defense. The issue is they didn't score one touchdown.
Yeah, that offense that they have to rely on so much.
What is going on here?
Which is weird.
I think that there's O-line issues.
Yes.
The receivers do not. The receivers actually were playing decent in this game.
Yeah.
I seen Pringle. He was making some good plays.
Yeah, but let's just say this. I think that losing Sammy Watkins hurts a lot more than Chiefs fans the organization might have thought. Because besides Tyreek Hill,
nobody else is a route runner.
Where would you rank the second receiver, which is probably Pringle? Where would you rank him?
McCole Hardman. They're pretty low.
They're pretty low.
McCole Hardman is just straight line speed. Mm-hmm. He ain't really got no routes.
Yeah. And
Pringle's
kind of the same build as Hardman. Right?
Yeah, they're kind of the same thing.
And you have a Josh Gordon who's way out of his prime.
Oh yeah. He's probably doing crack before the game still, and we don't know.
And Travis Kelce.
Now this is the thing I noticed in this game. He was getting pressed and could not get off the press a lot of times in this game.
I've been noticing that all season though.
Yeah, too. And I've been like, are you gonna get open? Are you gonna be the best tight end in the league or?
In the league.
I don't know. But still, Mahomes is trying to do a lot too much at that.
Yes.
And he almost died at the end of the game.
That was a rough hit.
Yeah.
That was a rough hit, so that was scary to see. But Mahomes was responsible for 3 turnovers this game. 1 interception, 2 fumbles. Again, I said way back, I was like, I didn't want to get too, I didn't want to blow it out of proportion with this Chiefs team because a lot of their bad plays can be, the result of sloppiness, right? They played very sloppy football. They had 4 turnovers against the Chargers that they lost, and they had 2 unnecessary turnovers against the Ravens, which were the reasons that they lost. And they're unnecessary turnovers. It's Mahomes trying to do too much, or it's an unnecessary fumble. It's just them being sloppy. The running back not holding it secure. It's on the team. Yeah. So I was like, I didn't want to be like, okay, no, this Chiefs team's in trouble. I can't. It's hard to say that against a Kansas City team that's been world beaters for the past 3 years now, right?
And the thing is, in this game, they were down 24-3, I think, at some point. But you still thought that it was last year and the year before that, Chief. You like, well, honestly, the second half they might come back and win the game.
Yeah.
But now I'm gonna say this right now. If the Chiefs are ever down 24-3 going into halftime, they lost the game.
Yeah.
They're not coming back.
This ain't the same Chiefs team that can amount to 28 points in one quarter.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Here's the thing too. There's Tennessee. Their defense has jumped up past the top 20 now. They were really bad.
Now they're mediocre.
Now they're mediocre.
Yeah.
They're still right there. They're 19th right now. But from where they were at to where they are now in total yardage, it's improvement. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Titans defense pressure wise. They were putting pressure on Josh Allen, and they were putting pressure on Mahomes. Now again, Could this Chiefs one be a product of the fact that the Chiefs actually don't have that great of an O-line? Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I think they
But
have a terrible line.
let's give Tennessee credit, man. You know, this is a team that lost to the Jets, and it looks like this team wasn't going to be as good as they hyped it to be. And
I
now,
forgot that happened.
And now they're 5-2 right now.
Yeah, they have a good record.
They have a good record.
You wouldn't have thought that after week
and
2.
good confidence. So here's my thing with this Titans team. First of all, Mike Vrabel, I like him as a head coach. I don't think he's a great head coach scheming wise. I didn't even think he was a great D coordinator. But what Vrabel has to be credited for is that the fact that he's a good coach to motivate his players, bring in a good culture, you know, and get his players ready for game day, right?
He does.
He needs good coordinators, though, to help out, which is why I think they were going to struggle this year a little bit because of Arthur Smith being gone on the offensive side. They seem to found their stride, though.
Yeah, I think the Titans definitely played well.
Yes.
They didn't stoop down to the Chiefs' level. But
Are you still unsure?
I'm still kind of unsure. I'm not going to lie. Because I do feel like A.J. Brown is the only one, though. Julio Jones is not.
He's not the same.
If I'm being 100% honest, if Julio Jones came to the Raiders, I wouldn't be happy right now. I wouldn't be happy.
Depends on the value, I guess.
I would feel like we wasted our money on him.
Well, because unless here's the thing. Julio could be a guy that maybe when it comes playoff time and he's healthy, then it could become dangerous again. But my problem with Julio is not so much the skill, it's the health.
He's not honestly.
He's very injury prone now at this point in his career.
I don't even feel like he's wide receiver 2 right now.
Okay,
I feel like
wow.
he's a wide receiver 3.
Wow.
He's not open. He's
I think,
never open.
Okay, so I'm not gonna go as far as to say he's a wide receiver 3, but I'm gonna go as far as to say he's an IR, which means he's just staying his time in the injured reserve, and he's just
he's showing to me right now. That's not a wide receiver 2 even.
No,
I need to.
He had good games when his health. For me, it's health. I think the problem's health.
We'll see what he does in the future.
If he could stay healthy,
yeah.
If he can get rhythm again, we'll see what he can do. But credit to this Titans team. Now I'm going to ask you, which is a crazy question I never thought I'd ask you this season. Are the Chiefs even a playoff team?
Oh dang! Are they a playoff team?
Because you got to think about everyone now.
There are a lot.
There's a lot of teams that look good now. So
honestly,
okay, based on the rankings, and who's last right now in these rankings, are the Chiefs better than the Raiders?
Don't ask me that question. You know the answer to that question.
Just be honest though.
No. They are not better than the Raiders, and they are not better than the Chargers. They may be better than the Broncos.
But the Broncos are out of it now. The Broncos are even behind the Chiefs in record.
This is what you got to realize. The Raiders and the Chiefs have not even played once yet. Mm-hmm. So they still have to play them twice. Which, the way it's looking right now, could be 2 L's.
Here's what I'm thinking for the Chiefs. I don't think they can stand a chance against Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue. That Chiefs O-line will not be able to survive.
No. And against the Chargers, Joey Bosa, it's... No, they're going to be a team at the end that's going to be on the little brink.
You think a 7 seed, maybe?
I think they might make it barely at the end. They're going to be in the hunt the entire season.
Okay. I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're going to make it. The reason why is because I'll do this as a transition to my next game. It's because I think there's another team who I finally have gained some respect for, and who's joined the playoff picture, not just as a sneak-in wild card, but right now top in their division. The Cincinnati Bengals are 5-2 for the first time since 2015. What, did you think the Raiders, I was going to go Raiders? No. The Cincinnati Bengals are 5-2 for the first time since 2015. Thanks to Joe Burrow, and Jamar Chase, and the defense. Okay, I want to start off by saying, you asked me last week, can you name another player on that Bengals defense besides Bates?
Yeah.
Right? Can you name one? I said Chidobe, but you said Chidobe doesn't even count. And then I couldn't come up with anyone. My apologies to Bengals fans. All right? And I did my research this week because you grabbed my attention. I didn't think you were worth my time of studying. But you grab my attention because you have Trey Hendrickson, who's right now 5th in the league in sacks with 6.5. Yeah, crazy, right? 5th in the league, ahead of Max Crosby and a couple other guys. And you have Logan Wilson, a linebacker, who's 2nd in the league in interceptions with 4 and 10th in the league in tackles. A young, stout defense, actually. And then you have Chidobe Awuzie, who's doing his thing at corner.
Yeah.
And then you have Jesse Bates at the safety spot.
So I guess they got some playmakers that nobody knows the name of.
They're leading. Well, it's time we start learning the names. I made sure to go out of my way and learn these people's names because I've realized they were doing work the entire time, and I just chose to personally ignore them.
Wow, and they made the Ravens look like they weren't that special of an offense.
Yeah,
which I think is kind of crazy to think.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
go ahead and keep talking. I'm just gonna be putting in the short.
One takeaway that I got to tell you guys. When I watched the NFL draft this past year, right? Looking at the Bengals, I'm like, okay, they have Joe Burrow. They already have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon, right? So obviously, we're going to get Penei Sewell. We're going to get a corner. We're going to get somebody in the holes of this defense. What did the Bengals say?
They went for Jamar Chase.
A position they did not need.
100%.
But when you have the best player in the draft, I think you said this before. Yeah. Sometimes you just got to go get him.
You got to go get the best available player. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what you got. And it looks like they knew what they were talking about. No, Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, who was that?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need them. They might as well get traded.
Okay, well, let's not go too far. It's a good trio.
They might as well get traded right now because Jamar Chase is looking like one of the best rookie receivers of all time.
Well, let's just say the stats right now. Jamar Chase right now has 754 yards receiving in Week 7. That is the most by any rookie receiver through the first 8 weeks. We haven't even reached Week 8 yet. And he's already got the most receiving yards by a receiver in the first 8 weeks of the season. And he still has a game to go to mount up that number. Jamar Chase had 200 receiving yards this week against the Baltimore Ravens.
I mean, one of them was a 90 reception. But, you know.
That counts for something. It was a touchdown. And then you had Joe Burrow, who passed for 416 yards and 3 touchdowns.
So, yeah, I was not a believer in Joe Burrow coming into this year because he didn't really show me nothing last year. He was injured. But I feel like they didn't help him out in the O-line. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
they're playing good, though, man. Yeah, that O-line's doing their job.
Hey,
you know?
I got to pay my respects to you guys.
I got to give credit. I thought he was a bad coach pickup when they picked up the quarterback's coach from Sean McVay's system, Zach Taylor.
And what does it look like now?
Well, it looks like he's bringing in a great offensive system for that Bengals offense.
Yeah, I mean...
And, okay, we're ignoring the other half of this game, which was the Ravens. Did they come out bad? Yes. Do I think that the Ravens could have a chance of getting the Bengals in that second matchup? Yes. You know, in the end, I'm still a little more confident of that Ravens team than I am the Bengals. A little bit. I feel like I still need to see more. I guess it's more the fact that I'm just not ready to hail them as one of the top teams in the AFC.
Yeah. But I think they're a solid team.
I think they're a solid playoff team.
Yeah. I think the Bengals are going to be a solid team. The Ravens are going to be one of those teams that may lose the games that they should win, I feel like, because of how much pressure is on Lamar Jackson.
And remember, too, this is a Ravens team that's still injured. Yeah. But they step up when they need to.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to totally blow us out of proportion for the Ravens team. What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to praise a team that I've been sleeping on this entire year and not giving them enough credit. The Bengals deserve credit.
They do.
They look like a very solid playoff team. Right now, funny enough, they sit as the number 1 seed in the AFC. Probably won't last, but it's cool to see. It's cool to see. In the end, too, the thing you got to say about this Bengals team is they remind me a lot of the Niners a little bit in the sense that they're young and they get a good schedule to start off early.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when the Niners went to that Super Bowl year, they had a good easy schedule to start off the year so that team could get in rhythm, get confidence. And once that happened,
Now they're getting it rolling.
Now they're just getting it rolling. And then they were going against top teams, which the Bengals are doing. Because in the end, too, they gave the Packers a good game at home.
Mm-hmm.
If their kicker didn't miss a field goal, they could have won that game.
Yeah.
And then we'd be talking about them at 6-1.
And they would be really scary at that point.
Mm-hmm. So, Bengals deserve their credit.
Who's the number 2 seed in the AFC?
The Raiders.
The Raiders. And yeah, we went up against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
I mean, everybody knew this was a dub.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I gotta say, Jalen Hurts has been looking really good this year. Until this game. Where he didn't do nothing. They were locked up the entire game. The ending score doesn't really show the true thing. They were losing the entire game. At some point, they were down by almost 20 points. And Kenyon Drake, I'm tired of Josh Jacobs. He gets injured every single year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very tired of that. But that's why we picked up Kenyon Drake in the offseason. And as I said, be on the lookout for him. Our new head coach is going to utilize him a lot more than he used to be used.
Yeah.
And he came out. Derek Carr. We don't got to get our oil changed. Okay, our car is working right now. Until we got to get some tires fixed or something,
And that might happen now.
Then we might head over to speed.
No,
right now.
Again, the biggest thing with this Raiders team is their defense.
Yeah.
That pressure that they're getting on the D line.
Oh yeah.
And that helps out the secondary.
Oh yeah.
Big time.
Max Crosby
and Unique Ngakoue
came through. He came up with a big stop in the goal line. I know y'all seen this play.
Yes, that was a great anticipation play.
Looking like Troy Polamalu.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really like the Raiders as a whole. We didn't even have Darren Waller in this game. And Henry Ruggs played well. Brian Edwards still did a little something. Like, we have so many weapons on this team that it doesn't matter if we don't have one of them.
Yeah.
So
credit to the Raiders. I just want to complain to the Eagles in one aspect. Why don't you give the ball to Miles Sanders more?
I don't know.
Miles Sanders right now is top 10 in yards per carry, which is right now at 4.8.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great average. He averaged 5 in this past game. Why did he only get 6 carries, though?
I don't know. They're like Gainwell.
Why is he 32nd right now in the league in carries?
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think that Gainwell's just better. Or he's just scared that Max Crosby's going to kill him.
Gainwell only had 5. They're just not running the ball. Jalen Hurts is doing 34 pass attempts, high 30s every single game. The play calling for the Eagles is what's hurting them the most.
I just think they would have lost this game no matter what they did. But,
Okay, yes, of course. But my only complaint is just with the play calling. For the Eagles. But the Raiders, guys, defense looks great. Another game. We'll just start off with the question, man. What happened to the Panthers?
Oh, man. Dro has a lot of confidence in Sam Darnold that he wasn't an issue on the Jets. How many points did they score this game?
They scored
3. So similar to the Chiefs. The Giants are one of those teams that just find a way to lose games, and they got blown out. Without Kadarius Toney, who has been their most promising receiver.
Kenny Golladay.
And Saquon Barkley. How do you lose that game? Obviously the Panthers don't have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
But Chuba Hubbard is a
maybe it's the fact that we don't realize how big of an effect Christian McCaffrey has on that Panthers offense.
Yeah, maybe it's that significant.
But here's the one thing I got to say. Sam Darnold started out the season looking great, and now he's at a point where he's standing at 7 touchdowns thrown to 8 interceptions.
Oh.
And he's been a turnover machine these last few games.
So maybe he was the issue on the Jets. I'm not going to go as far. Maybe he wasn't a full issue, but he didn't help out the situation.
Hurts me to say that, but maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right.
The receivers on the team also aren't good enough to substantially last in this league. DJ Moore, he's a gadget receiver. He's not really a
Oh, he's looking like it, man.
He's not a wide receiver one, I would say. He's like a gadget that you would love to have on your team. Jet sweeps, flies.
I think he has number one receiver potential. My problem is Robbie Anderson.
Robbie Anderson doesn't do a damn thing for this team.
And I think he has, what is it now, 5 drops on the season, which is pretty
Probably
bad.
a little more than that.
Probably a little more.
Yeah, I just don't think that the Panthers are as good as we thought that they were. Because there's no way that you lose to the New York Giants alone.
Mm-hmm.
But the New York Giants, without their best player, Saquon Barkley,
Mm-hmm.
you lost.
Yeah.
And they don't have their best new upcoming receiver.
Yeah.
No excuse.
No excuse. On the other hand, we've saved the best for last. The 49ers hosted the Colts on Sunday Night Football in a rainy game, a very intense weather game, and they lost. Do you want to start? Actually, because I'm tired of starting for this team, so go ahead. You want to go?
I just got a quick question. So before I elaborate and I'm gonna say what I have to say about the game. Are you gonna say that this is a coaching issue or is this more of a player issue now?
I'm gonna say it's a coaching issue.
Still a coaching issue?
I think it's a mix of both.
Okay.
It really is.
I'm gonna say this. Who the hell is Michael Pittman? Michael Pittman.
Wide receiver 1, that's who he is.
Wide receiver 1, and he looked like a Pro Bowl receiver against these 49ers.
Whoa, okay, hold on. Let's give Pittman some credit, though, man. He has 500 receiving yards on the season, and he has been the Colts' number 1 receiver, and he made great plays even against the Ravens. So, okay. Go ahead.
I'm just going to say this to you right now. Michael Pittman is a solid receiver. He makes YouTube videos. You might see him on YouTube with his girl, his wife. Michael Pittman is not that great. He shouldn't be a Pro Bowl receiver anytime soon. Maybe in this future.
I don't know.
But against these Niners, he looked pretty good. And we already know. I gotta say this because this haunts me every day. I've been saying this for the last 2 years, and I've been wanting to slap every Niner fan that's ever said this. Jimmy Garoppolo has never been better than Derek Carr. Never. I don't want to hear it ever. No, but he was better than... No. He's been the same player since the beginning. But I'll let you talk about Jimmy G since that's your quarterback. Trey Lance, did he play in this game?
No. No, he was hurt.
Yeah. Jimmy Garoppolo, though, man. That's your QB1. I think he should be QB free agent.
Okay. There's a couple things I want to get into with this next thing. Again, coaching. I'm so glad Shanahan finally said it at the interview after the game that I need some things to figure out. Because, yes, you do. You need to figure out some things. The scheming, the play calling, it goes dead. It goes dead right after the first quarter. Every game, I feel like we have our one good opening drive, and it just goes absolutely blank.
Y'all did score in the opening. Y'all looked really good in that opening drive, man.
Here's the thing I gotta say, man. I saw a difference in play calling big time. If you watch the game, you saw that Frank Reich, even in the rain, decided, I'm gonna take deep shots on this team. Carson Wentz threw about 4 deep, probably 5 actually, deep shots. He hit one to Pittman, and the about 3 more got called pass interference. I like that. I like that play calling because that's aggression. He's basically saying either
y'all suck.
No, he's saying I think my receiver can take you one-on-one, and if you can, you're gonna have to PI him. Yep. You're going to have to foul him.
You're just not good enough.
It's a great aggression. They had aggressive plays where they stretched the field. The Niners have no deep threat whatsoever. Now, could this be, of course, due to the quarterback? Yes. But I also, 100%, I don't think Garoppolo is a great deep ball passer. But it's also play design. Because we don't really design too many plays to stretch the field. And the other thing I want to say is just, we go away from the play action so many times. the boots, that was unstoppable, and we go away from what works, it seems like, every single game. So, yes, Shanahan has some stuff to figure out. On the other hand, this Niners defense, again, is putting up numbers. There's 6 right now in total defense.
Okay.
And they have a losing record. Says a lot. Says a lot about the offense. What I also want to mention, too, though, I like our linebacker core. I like our D-line. I like the way sometimes our 2 outside DBs play on occasion. What I don't like right now, like really don't like, is our safety play. Maybe we have to start considering the fact that Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt aren't as good of a safety duo as we thought, as we committed to. Because I remember seeing the play too. It was a cover 2. And you know how cover 2 works, right? Obviously, the corners have flats, and the safeties have deep.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's 100%. So Jaquiski Tartt, having the deep, didn't realize that there was a streak going on straight to the left of him. And then had to play catch up, and he ended up PIing the receiver, because he couldn't get to him. On the other one, Jimmy Ward is just not good at reading the plays. He's getting beat from behind. He's getting beat in front. I just don't like what I'm seeing from the safeties. And, of course, the DBs have their moments, but it's a little more bad than good. Yeah, and what sucks, too, is that we gave up 2 of our first-round picks for Trey Lance in the future.
That's what I'm trying to say. The Niners don't really have a future to build on right now.
We need to trade for a corner.
What do you have to trade, though?
We'd have to trade another
second round picks.
Here's the thing, man. Gilmore just got picked up for
a 5th round.
A 5th rounder.
Yeah.
There's DBs out there that teams are willing to move on for that have way more potential than what we got right now.
Yeah. You want like a shoulder to cry on, bro. Like, are you okay?
Get off me.
Okay. I just wanted to see
Get
you
off
guys
me.
were okay.
Get off me.
But the Niners definitely have a lot of pieces. Though they have a great O-line now.
We're wasting a lot of those pieces.
Receivers, you got one receiver.
Debo. Oh yes.
Ayuk.
Thank you. You reminded
underutilized.
you reminded me of my last point. Throw the ball to Brandon Ayuk. Oh my goodness. Throw the ball to him. George Kittle's out. First of all, why are guys like Jawan Jennings and a couple other receivers even getting playing time? Sanu deserves playing time. He's a veteran. He's got great hands. He's got a good veteran presence. I understand putting him in. Why is Jawan Jennings in over Brandon Ayuk on so many plays?
The world may never know.
I just don't get it, man. And there's so many plays. They talk about Brandon Ayuk's not getting separation. He was wide open on a corner post for a touchdown. The only reason he didn't get it is because Jimmy Garoppolo got hit as he threw, so the ball was short. Yeah. Focus on getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. I like how we focus on getting the ball to Debo. Do the same for Ayuk. Develop this receiver. He's a great talent. I love what I've seen from him last year, and we're not even having the chance. Sorry, my pen's on. We're not even having the chance to see that this year. So and that goes to play calling.
That's all right, man.
It goes to Shanahan.
You guys have a game this week?
We do. We have the Bears. But we'll go into that right now, actually.
Right, let's see how you guys do.
Let's switch up. We're going to give our NFL Week 8 predictions now. Let's move on from Week 7. An interesting week. A lot of changes. Just so you know, next week we will be doing our mid-season awards and power rankings, that sort of thing, right? Yeah. Okay. To start off, actually, we have what could have been a great Thursday night football game with the Packers versus the Cardinals. But right now, we have Devontae Adams, who just went on the COVID list. And also the other Packers receiver, Alan Lazard, just got put on the COVID list.
He's on the COVID list too?
Yes. And now Marquez Valdez-Scantling still on IR. So the Packers receivers right now, hey, you wish you drafted a receiver, didn't you?
Yeah. Let's just say this. If the Packers make this a close game, you got to give a lot of credit to Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. A lot of credit. But I'm going with the Cardinals.
I'm going with the Cardinals as well, and I'm going to guarantee that the Cardinals win.
Okay, that's not very bold at all at this point. But
I think it is.
You think that's bold
It's still a 6-1 Packers team.
without Devontae Adams?
I still gotta.
We'll see how the game goes.
Okay, next one. Oh, this could be an interesting game now because we don't know which way it's gonna go. Panthers versus the Falcons.
Obviously we just talked about how the Panthers aren't as good as they showed, but I think that the Falcons are pretty bad. I'm gonna go bold here. I've seen the potential that they've shown. Lock on the Panthers.
You know, you didn't want me to. You wanted me to go a little more bold, so I will. I will appease you. I'll make because I say my third guarantee for right now. I'll guarantee that the Falcons are gonna win.
Ooh, okay.
So that's an interesting one. That could be a big key.
It's really either way.
Just so you know, actually, I forgot to mention that me and Travis are now tied after the week that I have.
We had a bad.
We are tied 73-73 right now, and remember these are like by total games correct, and you can lose one by losing a guarantee.
Yeah.
But I have the Falcons.
Let me try to do one bold one.
Next one, Dolphins versus Bills.
I got the Bills.
I have the Bills as a lock.
Dolphins.
Guaranteed. Yeah. Next one, 49ers versus the Bears.
Ooh. Sounds a little weird to say I don't know who's going to win this game. I went with your 49ers.
I did too.
Justin Fields has been a little
I did too. I know I get on this team, but I love them, and I still think there are pieces there that can, that can win games against teams like this.
You guys should be
again,
good.
and I said this too last week. I said the Colts are a better team than their record shows. Right, so I see the Colts as a playoff team.
You think the Niners are better than their record shows? Their record shows.
They could be, but I haven't seen it. I think talent-wise, of course, but I haven't seen it. It's different with the Colts. I've seen the Colts play good. I just know the Colts have played really good teams.
Yeah.
Versus the Niners have the potential to be really good, but just aren't showing it right now.
Right now, if you guys lose this game, I'm gonna really
throw away the season. Put in Trey Lance and just finish out the season.
Yeah,
you might as well. You're better
lose,
off developing Trey Lance and finishing the season than anything else. Either way, Steelers versus Browns. Now we don't know the situation on the Browns health wise. Baker Mayfield's still dealing with that shoulder, and Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. But it's the Steelers, but it's at home for the Browns. Who do you have?
Now, so I thought that there was going to be a little bit of updates on the Browns this morning. So I had the Browns as my team. But I haven't really seen much.
Yeah, so just so you know, by the time we're filming this, there's not too many updates on the health conditions for the Browns.
I'm going to have to change mine. I'm going to go with the Steelers, even though Ben has been pretty bad.
Okay, I'm going to go Browns. I still trust this team. I still do trust this team to beat a team like the Steelers. Eagles versus the Lions. Now this is another scary one.
Yeah, you don't know who's gonna win this one.
Because these aren't like primetime games, but it can still be interesting. Like you don't really know who might come out on top. Now the Lions haven't gotten a win yet, but they played good against the Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Lions here because I thought that they played really well against the Rams.
Oh, that brings me to another point. We're gonna get off track just for a quick second. I just wanted to ask you this question because the Lions gave the Rams a good game. Jared Goff actually played solid for the most part until that final pick he threw. But the Rams just offensively were not moving against the Lions. So I want to ask you, is Matthew Stafford, was it worth giving up 2 first-round picks to upgrade from Jared Goff to Matthew Stafford?
I'm going to say yes.
You think so?
I think he was. 2 first-round picks, ooh, that hurts. But Jared Goff is not going to win you games. Matthew Stafford, even when he has rough games like this, he is going to win you the game.
Okay. I can agree with that a little bit. They have been off. They haven't been as impressive or stout as I imagined.
Yeah.
But we've seen games like where they step up against the big time opponents like the Bucs at home.
Yeah.
And the one thing too is I like what you said. Jared Goff won't win you games. I think Jared Goff's the type of quarterback who, if you put in a good situation, he won't lose you the game completely.
But he's not going to win.
But he's not going to win you games. Matthew Stafford can win you games by his playing ability. So okay, I agree there. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Next game, the Tennessee Titans go into Indianapolis to face the Colts. Both teams are on a 2-game win streak.
Don't care.
Okay.
I know that the Titans are going to win this game.
Good.
Because they just whooped the Chiefs.
Good, because I need to gain some distance on you. That's why I got the Colts winning this one.
Mm.
Again, I've said it before, the Colts are a better team than their record shows. They're finally on a win streak and they're at home. This is a big division game. I got the Colts winning this one. I like Frank Reich as a coach. Bengals versus the Jets. Now, beginning of the season,
you would have been like,
you never know.
Bengals as a lock.
Bengals all the way. And if I could have a fourth lock, I'd put the Bengals because this Bengals team, man, is good. This is a good Bengals team. Next one. Oh, God. This team's just getting set up 2 weeks in a row. The Rams versus the Texans. The Texans just came off a loss versus the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to assume.
What was the score of that game?
It's like 30-5.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Rams here.
I'm going with the Rams as well.
Not a shocker.
Not a shock at all. Next one. Patriots versus Chargers.
I think maybe
No.
Chargers.
No. I like the Chargers coming off a bye week. They had a rough loss against the Ravens, but I got them coming off a bye week. They're still a good team. Don't get it mixed up, Yeah. Teams get you every now and then. They might get you.
Against a good team, you might flounder a little bit, but not against a bad team.
No,
not bad, but
it's not bad. But it's not bad. But I don't think the Patriots are on the Chargers level. I think there's a different level between these teams. Next one. This is an interesting one again. Jaguars versus the Seahawks.
Should not be this close.
But Russell Wilson is out.
Even if Russell Wilson was there, it might still be a little close.
I wouldn't go that far. Here's the one thing. The Seahawks do play down to opponents' levels all the time.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks here.
I am too.
DK showed
I'm glad you went with the Seahawks there because I didn't want to lose a point because I'm very uncertain about this game in the first place. But yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks. Geno Smith hasn't played horrible.
No, he's been okay. Like, you got to remember he was a starting quarterback at some point.
He's been productive. He's just not the Russell Wilson Wilson
not
level.
At all.
Next one. Washington versus Denver, the Broncos.
That one is, this game right here is the most like, I don't know at all.
Yeah. Washington's defense has been just so bad now, ranking-wise. They're actually ranked lower than the Chiefs in total yardage.
Oh.
This hyped up Washington defense.
But, I had Washington.
Okay. I do too.
I think I'm going to switch to the Broncos.
Oh, okay. So you're going to switch up.
Especially after you just gave me that stat.
That was the final.
Jerry Jeudy comes back this week.
Yes.
I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm excited to see what Jerry Jeudy does.
Okay. Next one. The first matchup between these two, the Bucks versus the Saints.
Bucks.
In New Orleans?
Doesn't
matter?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
Saints haven't shown me anything. Alvin Kamara had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I don't care.
I got the Bucks in a close game in New Orleans. Oh. So I don't think it's going to be as definitive.
I don't think it's going to be
Now, this is the one I know we have to disagree on. There's no way we don't. Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys go against the Minnesota Vikings. And I think by my answer, you already know who I think I'm going with.
I have a lock on the Cowboys.
I got the Minnesota Vikings. This is at home for the Vikings. And again, I've said it before, this Vikings team is a playoff team. Captain Kirk sailing the ship, leading this team to the playoffs.
I don't even, people think I'm a hater of Kirk Cousins. I'm not a hater. I just haven't seen anything. I'm not a believer at all.
Going into New Orleans and winning that game, that was nothing?
At all.
I got Kirk Cousins.
And I think the Cowboys are going to handle
who right now is top 10 in passing yardage. Actually, give me a second real quick as I double-check this stat, but I'm pretty certain that the Vikings are in the top in offensive yardage.
I swear, guys, if the Vikings win, I will take back things that I've said about Kirk Cousins. I will correct my wrongs. But
the Vikings are sitting there top 10.
Cowboys are winning this game, and that's my lock. My last lock.
I have the Vikings. Now, this is another game that you probably never would have thought would ever be in question. The Giants go into Kansas City for Monday night.
Man.
Do you still think this is in question, or do you really think...
Man, I'm telling you this right now. The Giants, as I said earlier, are a team that loves to lose. They just find ways to lose games.
So you're going to have to...
They're going against the Chiefs, who just went to the Super Bowl. If the Chiefs lose this game, I will never pick the Chiefs for the rest of the season.
Guarantee?
100%. I will never pick them.
This is interesting. I like that.
The Chiefs are going to win this game.
I like that. I'm going to go with the Chiefs. In the end, it's still at home for Kansas City.
Yeah.
And again, I still think Kansas City's good enough to beat teams like the Giants. Yeah, no, they're not beating contenders right now, but I don't think they're bad enough to...
If they lose this game, I will never pick them for the rest of the year.
I'm going to hold that to you. I'm going to hold you to that.
I promise you.
I'm going to hold that to you. Either way, should be an exciting week 8. Should be an exciting week of the NBA.
And the World Series, man.
Thank you for saying that, because I was about to say it should be an exciting World Series. That starts the day we are filming. So today, the World Series is going on. For you who are seeing this tomorrow or the other day, Thursday, this should the World Series should already be in full season. You know, probably game 2 by now. But either way, should be an exciting week of sports. We also have hockey going on again, the Big Four. I want to thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I want to thank my co-host Travis as always. And
bye-bye.
We'll see you guys next time.
Watching.